What's going on, y'all? Welcome to Triple Z Podcast. I'm your host, Isaiah Henry. The Cavaliers improved to 7-0, defeating the Milwaukee Bucks 114-113. Donovan Mitchell hits the go-ahead shot in the clutch, and the Milwaukee Bucks are now 1-5 in their last 6 games. The Cavs were getting cooked in the first couple of minutes of this game because they had no answer for the Milwaukee Bucks three-point shooting, whether it was coming from Damian Lillard or Taurean Prince, to the point where Kenny Atkinson had to call a timeout within the first 2 minutes of the game to settle things down for the Cavaliers. They were down 16 points in the first quarter. With 5 minutes left, the Bucks have already made 6 3-pointers by then. Cleveland struggled to keep up with the Bucks in transition. Giannis getting a full head of steam, getting downhill, leading the break, had 3-and-1 plays in the first quarter alone. Dame and Giannis got to the free throw line a bunch of times. They were the only players in this game for the Bucks that shot free throws. Dame going 5 of 8 and Giannis going 4 of 7 from the free throw line. Once Isaac Okoro and Sam Merrill got checked into the game, that's when the Cavaliers were able to match the Bucks' three-point shooting. With 4 minutes and 52 seconds in the first quarter, the Cavs were down 17-30. Isaac Okoro and Sam Merrill combined for 4 made three-pointers in a span of 1 minute and 22 seconds. That deficit goes from 13 all the way down to a 7-point deficit. Those two combined for 30 points, outscoring the Milwaukee Bucks bench, who only provided 13 points. Cleveland, they showed you why they were undefeated. They have 6 players. They had 6 players in double digits. Evan Mobley, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. Jared Allen, 15 points, 12 rebounds. Donovan Mitchell, 30 points. Darius Garland, 11 points, 10 assists. Sam Merrill, 17 points. Isaac Okoro, 13 points, 8 rebounds. So everyone was able to contribute in this win against the Milwaukee Bucks on the road. Hitting their three-point shots, taking care of the basketball, playing for one another. That was their recipe for winning this game. The Cavs were able to remain poised despite being down 16 points. They didn't panic. And even when Dame hit that shot with 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter, there's no reason to panic if you're the Cavaliers, because you have somebody named Donovan Mitchell on your team who can create a shot for himself anytime he wants, and that's exactly what he did. Kind of on a broken play, I would say, and still hit the mid-range shot for the game winner. I'm starting to think the Cavs are a little bit legit. Now, it is a small sample size, only 7 games. I want to see a little bit more consistency, maybe about 20 to 25 games to really get better sample size of them. But 7-0, having the best record in the NBA, the best record in the Eastern Conference, I'm fairly impressed with the Cavaliers and what they've been able to do in this stretch. On to the Milwaukee Bucks. They needed this win bad. Coming off that road loss against the Memphis Grizzlies, 99-122. Dame has 4 points in that game. It would have been nice if they were able to get a win at home. And going against a great Cavaliers team who's undefeated, breaking that streak, that would have been everything for Milwaukee Bucks. That would have shined a little bit of light upon that team. I have a few notes for the Bucks that concern me in this game. Giannis at the 5 was terrible. I don't know what happened. Maybe Brook Lopez got into foul trouble, but Giannis had to play the 5 late, like with 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. The Cavs were able to live inside the paint. He's not the same rim protector as Brook Lopez, so I didn't understand what Doc Rivers was trying to accomplish there. Speaking of Doc Rivers, his body language on the sidelines was just, it told me a few things, that he is not in sync with the players on the court. There was multiple times where he just looks frustrated. He gave up, like his hands was in the air and then he just slammed it down, basically saying like, I'm done with you guys, like do whatever you guys want to do offensively. There was one specific play where he was talking to Prince, but Prince didn't set a screen, and he was just livid on the sideline. He seemed so disappointed with what they were doing offensively. And I think that says a lot about what's going on in Milwaukee. If you're not in sync with your plays on the court as a coach, it's just not going to work out well for you, both offensively and defensively. Another thing, the Cavs were just attacking Damian Lillard in pick and roll. Isaac Okoro was guarding Damian Lillard, but then he will set a screen for Donovan Mitchell's man, and then they will get the switch. And Donovan Mitchell just exploited Damian Lillard for being a terrible defensive player. And that was the trade-off in Milwaukee, giving up Drew Holiday, who's a great defensive player, one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, and then trading that out for Damian Lillard, who's a great, fantastic offensive player, but he's not that defensively. So that's the trade-off that Milwaukee has to live with for now. The pick and roll between Giannis and Dame is mid. I would say that. They ran, from my count, 3 pick and rolls with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Dame gets fouled, no free throws. The second one, Dame kicks it to Prince in the corner. Prince drives baseline. He then gives it to Gary Trent Jr., who puts up a shot at the buzzer or at the end of the shot clock, and it results in a wedgie jump ball. And then the third one, they run a pick and roll. They both get favorable switches. You have Jared Allen on Damian Lillard at the top of the key, and then you have Giannis Antetokounmpo being guarded by Isaac Okoro. Dame takes it for himself, and he drives towards the rim. And, Evan Mobley does a great job of contesting the shot. Dame ultimately misses the layup attempt. their chemistry, Dame and Giannis chemistry together does not mesh well, in my opinion. And I know it's a small sample size, only 6 games, but I mean, the everything in Milwaukee is just going to right now. Honestly, I mean, when you look at their losses, they lose against the Brooklyn Nets and the Chicago Bulls, two teams that are on purpose trying to tank so they can, have their name in the Cooper Flag sweepstakes. They lose against the Memphis Grizzlies on the road. Giannis has 34 points, and the Bucks were nowhere near close to winning that game, getting blown out 99 to 122. And then you lose against the Cavaliers in a tight game where you were up 16. You let the Cavs get back into the game, and you try to run some pick and roll with Giannis and Dame, your two best players, and it doesn't really generate any type of offense. Now with the Bucks, I wouldn't slam on the panic button. I would give it a slight tap, though. I would give it a slight tap because I don't know what this team's going to be, when Chris Middleton comes back. Chris Middleton's, 33 years old, just had ankle surgery on both of his ankles. If he shows signs of declining, not being that all-star player that we know he's capable of being, Milwaukee is going to be one hell of a sight in Milwaukee. One hell of a sight. And then you got Giannis talking about, if the team doesn't win a championship, he might get traded. Why would you say that? I don't know why he said that. That was, probably one of the dumbest things I've ever heard him say. What? Who says that? Who says that? I just didn't understand the point of Giannis saying that. Next couple of games, I mean, they have to get a win. They got Cleveland tomorrow night on Monday. I know they face the Jazz. They got... Who else they got? They got the Knicks. Yeah, this team is just... There's so many holes on this team. The chemistry and connection between Giannis and Dame. Doc Rivers as a head coach is not working out well, but you're stuck with him for the next couple of years. My final notes for both teams: Bucks need to win tomorrow. If they lose tomorrow night, they fall to 1-6. Then it'll be a little concerning. Because now you're deep into the loss column. 6 straight games when you have players like Dame and Giannis on your team. What? You have to win. You have to win tomorrow night. They have to. They have to break that streak. They have to. And if Cleveland wins, damn, bro. I saw Cleveland's next 10 games about the Nets, Chicago, the 76ers, the Bucks clearly, the Hornets, and Boston. I can see the Cavaliers winning their next 8 games, honestly. They looked really good. I would consider them a legit team in the Eastern Conference. I wasn't high on them going into this season, but looking at them and watching how they play, Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley starting to assert himself a little more, getting more touches as well on this team. They look like a really good team in the Eastern Conference. Thank you guys for listening to Triple Z Podcast. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time. Zzz.